Hello everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. My name is Mindy. Today we're going to be reacting to episode 3 of the first season of Dandadan. The first episode, I really liked the characters, but I did not enjoy the content of the episode. It was really triggering for me. The second episode I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to this episode. I've heard it only gets better from there, so let's jump into it.
Or anything honest. I was hoping for a prediction or...
I predict you'll die if you don't leave.
That is a hell of a prediction. I like this lady. I really like this lady. Yeah, I really like her. Hi, Loki. I was told episode 1 was the only uncomfy bits of the show, and I'm starting to question that. Turbo Granny creeped me out last episode. She's creeping me out now. That reminds me of JJK, the one badass girl whose name I can't remember currently, but that's what that just reminded me of.
Well. First I thought she brought home another scumbag.
Oh, that was her grandma. That explains the personality.
Turns out this one ain't even human. Get up. Let's sort you out. Oh, you're a speedy little jerk. Even so, your attack was predictable.
She's a sassier version of the main character. I like it.
Circle, you'll die. That right there is a barrier, hun.
Why is she giving me Gojo vibes? Her attitude reminds me of Gojo.
How you got barbecued before? It's because I was already standing inside my barrier.
I've never seen a grandma dressed the way she does. Nothing wrong with it, but never seen a grandma dressed like her.
Kill ya.
I might have a new favorite character.
Now the old hag calls an old hag a dirty old hag. I hate hypocrites.
I really like this grandma. She's fun.
Scumbag that seduces my grandkid gets murdered.
That does not bode well for, what did she name him? I'll remember later. I wasn't expecting the time jump. Okarun. Okay.
Were you home? Oh, we were talking.
Because they made dumb bets because they're children.
How long are you gonna hold that against me? We could be in danger. All I want is a straight answer from you.
Poor Okarun's caught between their family drama here.
I guess I didn't want to miss my chance.
He was just a guy that was into the paranormal.
I really like the relationship between her and Okarun.
Just wanted a friend. This is my fault. I forced him to go into that tunnel.
You didn't force
Sorry,
him.
Okarun. Okarun!
All that drama and he's perfectly fine. I had a feeling he would be. At most I thought he'd be asleep because like a spirit in taking over your body is gonna drain your energy, but grandma even brought him food.
Hey! Fire safe? Fire safe? You four-eyed freak! You're still alive? What? Yeah, I'm alive.
Mad because he's still alive. She was worried for nothing.
I was hanging with monsters a new thing, or were you always doing
Please,
that?
don't scare me!
As long as he's in there, the curse won't kick in. But if he takes
That's a little more inconvenient than her having to get rid of the spirit because he's stuck.
one step outside,
I want to help him, but I don't know how.
so you are into him.
I am not! And another thing, I got psychic power or whatever.
Anytime I hear someone say, and another thing, Jackie Chan Adventures. If you grew up in the 90s, you get it.
Yesterday, when I saw aliens. Anyway, I really do have psychic powers now, and if I don't use them to keep Okaru's curse in check, he freaks the F out.
That totally.
I forget that all of this took place over a 24-hour period. That is a lot to take in less than a day.
Way back when, she was called 100 kilometers an hour, Granny. And she used to rampage all over the country.
Turbo Granny sounds so much better.
Turbo Granny and that bound spirit had fused into one.
I don't know what to think about this series. The mangaka has amazing world building. The backstories and the mythology in the series is phenomenal. Like, we don't know much about his mythology of aliens, but even though we haven't learned much, we are drawn into the world. We care about the two main characters, and the spiritual side doesn't feel forced. But the way he writes it and makes it such a comedy, I don't know how to feel about it. I really like it. It's just really confusing.
It's the kid's problem, and there's nothing you can do for him. Best to forget about him.
That was dickish.
Go back to your normal life. Loved you. When I'm
Back to that, I think he's an actor that she is obsessed with.
I'm gonna do.
The kid told me his name was Ken. So you are in love with him.
No, I don't mean him! I wasn't talking about that, Ken!
I knew that'd come back to bite her in the ass.
Hey kid, she's totally in love with you. Congrats.
No! I was talking about Ken the actor! The actor!
If you're gonna help.
That answers my question.
Huh?
She's so fast she thinks no one can run away from her. So if you challenge her, she'll accept without thinking twice about it. Now here.
Didn't she say she wanted her to stay away from Turbo Granny? Or was it specifically the tunnel?
Tag with no Turbo Granny? I got noodle legs. I get winded.
At least she's aware of her weaknesses.
I could, kiddo, but I can't use my power to help.
What? Why can't you?
My barrier spells work because I borrow the power of the god that lives in this territory.
Even more mythology. Now we have gods. First we had spirits, then aliens, and now we have gods.
Gotcha.
May I join the conversation about me now?
I get it. You don't want people talking about you like you're not there. But Grandma's got plans. I don't know if they'll work, but she's got plans.
Can carry you piggyback.
How much do you weigh, Miss Ayase?
Would you like to die?
That is a bad question for a lot of teenage girls. Don't ask them that.
Sets in 100 reps of each.
Huh?
Do it. And Momo, you have to train your psychic powers. They need to be at a higher level than they are now.
Grandma's gonna be a drill sergeant. It's good for them. Like I said last episode, it was clear that they still didn't know how their powers work, and they were getting their asses kicked. Grandma's gonna make it to where that doesn't happen.
Before, when we were fighting that big alien, I got so desperate there I couldn't think of anyone other than myself. I'm sorry.
He's one of the reasons why they did so well against the aliens. She wound up having to defeat them in the end, but his power-up mode was pretty badass.
I'll do my best. So the next time something like that happens, I can save you. I don't want to disappoint you, and I don't want you to stop.
These two are written so well. I love what the author does with them.
Look, I'm not disappointed in you. Don't overthink it.
Then why'd you go and slam the door in my face before?
Because she doesn't want to admit she has a crush on him.
That was... but you're still a dork, and next time, I'll I'll probably have to save you then, too.
I know all signs are pointing to a romance, and part of me wishes they wouldn't, because just because they do so well and they have so much chemistry doesn't mean they need to be a romance. They could just be really good friends, because this friendship is absolutely gorgeous. I know it's shonen. It's a shonen anime. And I think it is published in Shonen Jump. So while their feelings are probably canonical, I don't know if they'll actually show romance, because usually Shonen Jump animes and manga, the only romances are like the background characters or side characters. Like, you see Levi and Gajeel, but you don't see Natsu and Lucy actually get together in Fairy Tail. And the same with One Piece, even though Oda flat out said there won't be any romance in One Piece. So that'll never happen. But clearly, romance is brewing here. I just don't know if it'll actually be shown.
Yeah?
I am, sorta. No, I'm thirsty, so may I have some water?
That is not what he was gonna say. That is absolutely not what he was gonna say. But that is standard. You always choke on what you really want to say.
Grandma, you mind if I have some of your barley tea?
Nope.
That is not something I've never noticed in anime. It's common in anime for the characters to not look anything like their family members. But with her hair up, she looks so much like her grandma. It's insane.
What about her favorite food? It's curry, not ramen, like I said.
We knew she wasn't fake. Like, we know grandma actually has spiritual powers. But I thought the opening scene was her pretending to be a fake, like happens in things like Agatha All Along, in other shows where the medium is real, but they don't want people to know they are real. So the fact that it turned out she was 100% correct and this idol's been lying about his life is great. Can you leave my figures alone? Good boy.
The news is hot garbage these days. Oh crap, Okaroon! He's gotta use the bathroom!
Let him.
That was so dramatic. Just for a bathroom break.
How you're suppressing his curse, though.
Oh yeah, that. How do I put it? It's like I see an aura around him.
Really?
And if I picture my hands...
I am loving the world building this episode. I've said it before. I know I said it earlier, but we didn't get this in episode 1. We got the shock value in episode 1, and episode 2 was about how they dealt with everything that happened in episode 1. And this is
Squeezing it, the aura shrinks.
this is world building. So I love it. Come here.
Curse settles down. Auras come in different colors. When my powers first awakened in me, they were a hell of a lot more awesome than this. Suddenly it was like whatever I imagined became real. I felt like I was invincible. But that
I cannot wait till she learns how to control her powers, because she is going to be a complete badass.
didn't last too long.
Momo, close your eyes for a bit.
No! I don't want the curse taking him over again.
I think your problem is you rely on your eyes too much. Use one of your other senses. Like your sense of touch, maybe.
I just realized she's wearing a mask. I don't know how I missed it. I blame the cat.
If you can...
It's cold. Is it working?
Yeah, not really.
That was a complete fail for the first try.
Dang it.
Whatever, the turtle head's broken out and there's no stopping it!
Oh, it's on now.
No one runs faster than me! Except the guy trying to use the bathroom!
This is absolutely ridiculous. I told you, This author has amazing world building, but the comedy is insane. This would be awful.
Mama, you said when you first got your powers, you felt invincible for a little while there. I think you were accessing your full power then.
That's what I said. Once she unlocks and learns how to control her powers, she's gonna be insane.
Who knows how long it'll take to
More training.
access all of it. You got time now. The kid needs to get in shape, and that's gonna take a while.
I hate that you have to watch me on the toilet.
She wasn't watching him. He brought attention back to himself.
My curse is contagious thanks to this brat here. I can curse anyone he looks at.
I knew the whole season would be about them trying to get his dick back from Terrible Granny, but I did not expect her to be the main antagonist. I thought it was going to be like kind of like Dragon Ball Z, where there was antagonists along the way while they were trying to find all the Dragon Balls. I wasn't expecting them to have to fight Terrible Granny so often.
And quit joking around. This is serious.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give the attitude a rest already? Because that's the reason you're always getting into trouble. You never listen to me.
Grandma must smell like an ashtray.
Even when you were little.
Okay.
Please. Watch over those two.
I really like Grandma.
Protect them.
No way can I let that ghost hag hurt someone I care about. I'm coming, Turbo Granny, and I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay, so that was episode 3 of Dandadan. I really liked it. Grandma is fascinating because she is a complete badass character who is extremely strong, but is useless almost. I wouldn't say useless, that was harsh. She can't help them. She cannot help Okarun and Momo. And Momo is cracking me up because she cares about Okarun, whether right now she realizes it's romantic or if it's as his friend, she really cares about him, but she doesn't want to admit that soft side of her. So she's a lot like her grandma, because her grandma she doesn't pretend to be strong, but she has this really abrasive personality, and she actually really cares about her granddaughter. We saw that at the last scene where she said, "Don't die on me." She truly cares about what happens to Momo. And Okarun is going to be the comic relief of the season, obviously, but he's also gaining strength. So I cannot wait to see these two when they unlock their full potential. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Have to say whatever it takes.